So we've had my stepdaughter stay with us for a while, and I guess she had some books that I found in our storage area there out in my backyard. The book is called Pregnancy, Childbirth, and the Newborn, a complete guide for expectant parents. And just looking at this book and, kind of glancing through it, it's all about, using knowledge and resources to have a comfortable pregnancy and bearing the child in a comfortable, natural way for the woman, different positions and different exercises, and how to care for oneself prenatally so that the child will be born healthy. Unfortunately for my stepdaughter, because she lacked folic acid in her diet, which was one of the reasons that her baby was born with a defect, this is back in 1990, she was going to carry the child to term, and it was discovered through ultrasound that the baby didn't have any rib cage. And most of the internal organs were outside of the body, so she elected, being that she has had some previous difficulties mental problems, she elected to have the baby born, have it be born into and it died within a couple hours actually of being born. Very sad, very disheartening, or very uncomfortable, unpleasant situation that she got into. But I'm really looking at this book, right, and I'm thinking about anti-natalism, right? And I find another magazine, which is People magazine, which is, someone celebrating the birth of their twins. And my stepdaughter, what she's gone through, just, for... After that happened, she elected to have the Norplant put in so she could have, birth control using that method, and which has worked for her, but there was other complications involved, and then that didn't work, and she had some difficulties with that. So it's just, this is like, here's popular culture, exemplifying the joy and the happiness that comes with newborns and babies, and how they create happiness and joy for the couples, for the parents, and how that should be, this is the normal, this should be something that's it's presented as something that will happen. If you have a baby, you will be happy. The baby will make you happy. The baby will fulfill your life mission. The baby will be your way that you will become immortal through your children. Your DNA, your genes will live on, and you'll be able to pass on all of your ideals and your beliefs to your children. So, which it's almost like you really think about it, and the people that have children are doing it for selfish reasons. The people that are having babies and having children, or planning on having children, are doing it because they need to have a baby, or they feel that that a child, they're actually procreating because because for themselves, for their own selfish needs, because really, honestly, they're not thinking about that's going to be another person. That other person's going to have to live an entire lifetime through adolescence, through adulthood, getting old, going through all of the experiences of having to live out a whole life, a very, very, very long time life. But the problem is that people only think that the baby is going to be a baby forever. They think the baby's going to be a baby, they're going to have a baby for the rest of their life, and it doesn't work that way. These babies, they have to grow up. They have to live a life. They have to go through all of these experiences of being a person through all the different stages of living. They have to go experience all those experiences of their whole lifetime. So the mentality of the people that are having children, they only are thinking about their own self. They think, oh, I need, it will make me happy, oh, we need us, we're going to make this person, and this person's going to make us happy, and they think there's somebody that doesn't exist, and they need to make that person they need to bring that person into existence, because they've fallen under a popular culture myth that there's unborn people that want to come into existence. I have a movie with Nicolas Cage, and I'm not putting down the actor, the acting ability. The story was good. The film was very entertaining. It was, sound quality, visual effects. But the problem with the story, if you've seen the movie, I'll put a link to it, is that here's a guy that's perfectly happy being a single man that gets involved where he contacts an old girlfriend that he left. And he reached a crossroads in his life where he could decide whether or not to stay with this girl and they could get married and have a family. But he decided not to do that and go into business and become a businessman. He was quite successful being a businessman. But what happens is there's this, I guess, an angel appears to him at a store where he's involved in a robbery, and he prevents a robbery, and he gets a chance to live a life where he had not left the woman at the airport but married her. And so in the vision, or in the dream that he's having, is that he's married to this woman. He works for a tire store, and his father-in-law's business, and he's not that successful, but he has this little daughter girl that's 5 or 6 years old, and then a baby, and then the wife that he's fantasizing about. This is their life, and having this family. And then in the movie, the little girl, and it's like they aren't really existing, but they hint to him that they want to come into existence, that the children are like phantom children that are like there, but they're not there. They're not born yet, but they need to come into existence. So in a way, the movie is that same popular culture myth where the soul is separate from the body. And we know through, modern scientific neurology and biology, we know that our soul is the activity of our brains. So there is no pre-person that's existing before there's a physical body. And that's one of the things about popular culture is they get people, most people believe that these beings, that the human beings are somehow existent before we come into existence, which is not. That's a fallacy. We don't exist. Our consciousness gradually emerges as our bodies develop through time, which is interdependency on body and soul, or body and consciousness is the activity of the body. So people don't think that a kid's got to come into existence, going to have to live a life on the earth and deal with, disease, deal with pressures on the job, and having to go to school, having to do having to go through all the discomforts, have teeth, worked on, cavities, have health problems, have very unpleasant, uncomfortable situations to get into, come into a world where the ecology is becoming diminished, where the animals, where we're going through an extinction period, where there's climate change, where there's peak oil, where they're running out of resources, where there's all these places all over the world where all these children and people live in slums, and most of the people in the world live hand to mouth, that they think they need to bring other people into existence. They still, because they don't think about that's another person. They think they are going to make a copy of themselves and make their own self go into this other being, which will become an extension of themselves, which is a myth. They are those. The baby is a separate person. The baby is going to have to grow up to be an adult, to have to live on this planet with its diminishing resources and the loss of the ecology, the breakdown of the ecosystem, the diminishment of natural resources, and dealing with the contamination in the oceans and the air and potential nuclear war in the future. So why are people thinking about babies? You know why they think about babies? It's because they think they need a baby. Well, probably what they should do is adopt a pet first. Maybe start with a plant, grow a plant, and take care of it, water it every day. And then if they're successful with a plant, get a goldfish and then take care of the goldfish for a year or two until it's dead or gone. And then maybe get a mouse or a kitten and then take care of the kitten and feed it. And if they can do that and they're successful at that, then maybe they should just start, if they have the capacity and the intelligence and the resources to be able to raise a child. Maybe they are some kind of medical doctor that has certain skills and knowledge that they can pass on to their son, that they can teach directly to their son or daughter to be a successful surgeon, and maybe be able to come up with new methods to prevent cancer, or they're to be able to cure some incurable disease. They believe that they have the capacity and the fortitude and the knowledge to be able to, they have successfully created the right infrastructure in their lives to be able to raise a child and give them that, transfer that capacity over to them. But that's very, very, very rare. Most of the people that are having babies, that are wanting to have babies, are doing it because it's a selfish. They're not thinking about that's another person. That other person has to exist and live and experience all this and go through a whole lifetime. So having a baby is a very serious thing to do. It's another consciousness. It's not something you do because you want to, because you think you have a need to do that. Anyhow, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks for listening. Bye.